Well, good morning guys. My name is Anthony. Welcome to Farm Business East Africa. Today I'm in a slaughterhouse in Kiserian, looking at all these hides and skins coming out from the slaughter, and got me wondering, where do all these hides and skins go? So you see here is a fast handling process. So what happens is that once they receive these hides, they get to remove the waste on top of the hide, then they spread it and they salt it. So there's this white salt, magadi, they use it, they salt, they use a lot of it, and that is for preservation. With that salt, the hide is able to remain in good condition for months, and that allows them time to gather them and now proceed into the tannery. There are several tanneries. According to a quick Google search will tell you that Kenya has about 19 registered and licensed tanneries currently. I don't know how many of those are operational, because Kenya did have a thriving leather industry back in the 80s, but in the 90s, same as any other industry or parastatals back then, most of those collapsed, and by the 2000s, we only had about 8 operational. So in the wake of the NAC regime, we made a huge stride in that sector, and we've been growing since then. So back then our huge export came from exporting raw hides, but we've since terminated that. Now we are at least processing to the basic, the first basic tanning, that is wet blue. That is what we are exporting in huge numbers. About 90% of leather produced in Kenya is all exported. But what sparked my curiosity is the realization that about 3% of the leather produced in Kenya, it is exported as shoes. And that is interesting, because that means we are exporting a lot of shoes, because we have a lot of leather. 3% is also a huge number. So Amina Rock found this lady. She runs a workshop, works with a friend here, and I sought to find out how they do it.
So once the leather comes from the tannery, we choose different grades that comes in different colors, and then you see which one is good for the product that you're making.
In most cases, the fur one is used in safari boots. For those people who love safari boots, for those guys who love timberland, there's this color, but it comes in 6 different colors: yellow, orange, red, blue, any color, name it. Yeah, and this is the most obvious, which is black. For most official shoes, back to school. Yeah, and when it gets here, what we do, we start with designing, where we get something called a pattern. The pattern will define the kind of shoe that you want to make. This one is a pattern which makes a shoe called a slip-on kind of shoes, and that kind of shoes is this one. This is the kind of shoes that is called a slip-on, because this part here goes in front and this one goes at the back when you join them. So in order to make these patterns work, you arrange them on your leather, then you cut them. You can draw using a pen and cut with scissors.
Then you do the stitching.
Yeah. And then before you start stitching, you come to this machine. This is called a skiving machine. To reduce the thickness, let me use this one. To reduce the thickness of the leather when you want to join 2 sides. Let's assume I want to join this piece. It will be too thick. So when I want to join it, I will reduce the thickness by using this machine. Yeah. So when I stitch these 2 parts, it has been reduced. Yeah, this is the skiving machine. And this one It's called the flat belt machine, used for stitching only. That's the process, stitching. Yeah.
Interesting. So you come up with the designs.
I come up
Yeah.
with the design. Any design,
Yes.
back to school, officials, loafers, boots, name them all.
Bags. Handbags.
Belts,
Yeah,
yeah,
belts.
any kind of shoe, any design that you will bring me,
Yes.
I will make you the shoe.
Oh, okay.
Even if you download and tell me this is the type of shoe I want,
Yes.
I will just make it for you.
Okay.
After finishing with here, we get something like this. The uppers.
Oh,
Uppers. After stitching all the parts,
Yes.
we make something like this. It's called the uppers.
Yes.
Yeah. This is what, now this is your shoe. But you can't call it a shoe because it's not complete. Then we go to that other side where we call it a lasting process.
Okay.
Lasting.
Lasting.
Yeah. Taking the uppers, putting it into a last. This is the last. Now the process is called lasting. Let me show you how it's done. And for shoes to be strong, here, to be firm, here,
Yes.
we use this thing. It's called a stiffener. Yeah. We place it there. We return the lining, the inner lining.
So what are you doing to the leather?
To soften the leather. I use heat. Yeah. I place this one. It's called punches. The shoe has started taking shape. Yeah. It's done. After that, you still pass it on heat to strengthen it. Those carvings, yeah. We remove our nails. cut off the excess leather. Finally, this machine. It's called a roughing machine to make the surface rough so that the glue can attach. Yeah. That's after roughing, take your sole, measure it. It's the exact one. Now you apply your glue. Yeah. It's called a white glue, different from the other one. This one, it's only used to attach soles only. And you can't attach it when it's wet. You apply it, let it dry, then burn it again with fire, and then attach your sole. You apply on both sides, the shoe and the sole itself. Yeah. After applying the white glue on the sole and on the shoe, now we heat for the glue to attach itself. We heat the sole, then we heat the shoe again. Yeah. Now we attach. And now you have your complete shoe.
So what's the size of that shoe? What is the size of that shoe?
Size?
Yeah.
Size 44.
This is size 44.
Yeah.
So now sometimes you would buy maybe a size 44, and some 44 will fit you.
Yeah.
And
Others
some
will not.
Yeah. Sometimes it's huge. Sometimes it's smaller.
That depends with the last or the mold.
Okay.
Like this one, size 40.
Yes.
But this distance, it's a slim one.
Okay.
Different with this one. They're the same sizes. And the other sizes, 40 still, will be large.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
that's the
all
difference.
these three
They're the same sizes.
Size 40.
Yeah.
But some will be
Large.
okay.
Yeah, depending on the mold.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So to fit the different types of feet
Yeah.
that we have.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Others have wide foot, others slim.
Okay.
No, it depends with that. Yeah.
So from the finished product now, where do you go from here?
From here, finishing. The finishing process. Polishing, insole, and laces.
And
That's after me removing the mold inside.
Okay.
Yeah. Same boot with this one. They're just the same shoe. The customer, it didn't fit because it was small, and it needed the same kind of shoe. So this is the larger size. Yeah. This is finished, polished, insole, and laces. Now it's ready for sale. Yeah.
So once Lewis is done with making the shoes, now these are the different designs that he can come up with, or even more. He can even come up with more designs.
Okay.
There's this one there. Women love the small loafer shoe.
Yes.
It's leather, very good sole, very durable. This one should last you at least a year or 2 years, depending if you're using it every day, or 10 years, depending with your usage. We also have back to school shoes, super durable. This one you'll go with it from Form 1 to Form 4, 100%, I'm not even lying. It will stay in the same condition. Bora, you know how to take care of leather.
Okay.
You don't dump a lot of water in leather. You make sure you just wipe it and polish.
Yes.
Polish it as regularly as possible so you can keep it shining as well. We also have the brown tafish shoes for the schools that wear different colors. As well, you look for the cream shoe in case they don't get the right polish. You can use a shoe cream that's sold in the supermarkets to make sure the leather doesn't stretch out and break. If you don't polish it, it will break and it will be too hard for you to wear it. All right. Yeah, so the designs are many and the target market is different.
So once you're with your finished product now, because this is a workshop,
Yeah.
how do you get it to the market?
We are online. We have pages like Sunrise Africa on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, any page, even on YouTube. I think we have a channel. We also have a shop in town, in Narok town, near Kilimanjaro Hotel. And we are planning to open another shop as well in Nairobi city center, because that's where most of our customers are coming from. Okay. And yeah, we're so excited for this.
You make them in bulk for? We
do make them in bulk depending on the customer requirement. If a customer does want 100 pieces, we do make the timelines for that. If one person wants one pair of shoe, we'll also make that.
So, Njoki.
Yes.
You're pretty young.
Yeah.
How did you get into shoemaking business?
Well, I was in the former employment, and there's a time I got myself without a job. My father has been making shoes even my grandfather has been making shoes. That is since Kenya got independence. My grandfather was doing repair somewhere in a corridor. My dad took the initiative and started making shoes, complete shoes instead of repair. And when I got broke, he told me that this is a business I should do instead of asking him for money. So I got into wanting to know how to make sandals. Sandals is what brought me into the shoe business. And it was pretty lucrative. I was making enough to survive, to build. And I found it very, what do you say? Exciting, because it's something you're making from scratch.
Yes.
Seeing the product of how it's coming out, and the customers are loving the product.
Yes.
It gives you a different thrill than just buying a product that's already made. So I started looking for people who can make shoes and make them in the quality that the customers would like. And yeah, I'm loving this business so much.
How many years in?
Right now should be 4 years.
4 years in.
Yes.
So you started around COVID period, Apple?
Yeah, just around the COVID period when the work that I was doing got affected by the corona. Okay. So I started doing shoes. Okay. Yes.
So the kind of shoe you're holding, Apple?
Yes.
Is the same shoe that it's made by multinationals like Bata and the rest?
Yes.
So
yes,
these
it
are,
is.
Multinationals that been making shoes for hundreds of years.
Yes.
And they are your competition now.
Yes.
So how is that?
What I believe in, what Bata is making and what we are making, it's more of the same thing. Actually, it's 100% the same thing, 100% the same thing, because you're using leather from the same factories you're sourcing them from. They're selling the soles is the same factories that we get the soles from. So what we do now is provide the same product to our customers at subsidized prices. Because you'll find the same shoe, Bata will be selling it for 3,000, 3,500. And we'll be making for you, because our company is still small, and we'll be giving you for around 2,000 shillings, 1,500 shillings, depending on the size of your shoe.
Okay.
Yes.
And they are not just, it's not just those that are your competition. You also have like imports from Mutumba, imports from Ethiopia, imports from China.
Yeah.
All those are your competition.
Yes.
How is the market now for you?
We believe that once our customers get to understand the product they get from China and the product they get from us, they will always opt to take shoes from us or locally made shoes, because this leather is very long lasting. You can use a leather shoe for more than 10 years. And a Chinese shoe, there's some materials that I don't like that they make. It just peels out. So most of those shoes will probably run you less than 6 months. So once a customer has used one of our shoes, they're always calling to get another order. So we don't feel like that is competition. But also there are shoes that are coming that are very good quality as well from other companies. Like you mentioned Ethiopia. They're also making leather shoes. But with the taxation in the country, the prices as well go high for some of those. So we are trying to make sure that the local mwananchi gets a good quality shoe for a good price.
Okay, so you take advantage of the importation taxes.
Importation taxes, yes. Because the government has been lenient on us small businesses to make sure our taxes are low and the production cost is low. So we make sure the mwananchi gets the same product at a cheaper price.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's also the other thing of mechanizing. You're already in the journey of mechanizing some of the processes. So I assume, looking at these machines, it's a pretty expensive affair.
It is.
So,
it is.
As a beginner who's been in a business for about 4 years now, where do you even begin with getting capital for such a business?
Well, if you want to start making shoes, the first thing you can look for is you cannot definitely not make shoes without the sewing machine.
Okay.
You will need the sewing machine for stitching.
Yes.
Because we cannot stitch this with anything else.
Yes.
So this is the first thing you need to buy. It should cost you around 130 to 60,000, depending with the quality.
Okay.
Whether it's a new one or an old one.
Yes.
This on the skiving machine, we can use a knife.
Okay. Yeah.
So you don't necessarily need to have an electric machine. You can look for the Singer one. Make sure you get the right needle yenye itaweza penetrate through leather.
Yes.
It should cost you less than 10,000 shillings.
Okay.
You obviously do not need the skiver. We used before. I have been using the skiver with the knife. So not necessarily you skive with the machine.
Yes.
But you'll need the molds. The molds, these ones, see molds imagine.
Yeah.
These ones you have to need. The one that molds the shoe for it to come out the way it is, this one you have to need. And each mold goes for around 1,500 shillings per pair. So each shoe comes with a different mold. Mold sorry, the mold that makes this shoe and the mold that makes this shoe, it's 2 different molds.
Okay.
So you'll have to have a good chunk of money to buy the molds, because you cannot make the shoes without the molds.
The molds.
So let's say you'll need 5 of each. That's around 150,000 shillings, Kenya shillings. Yes, 150,000 Kenya shillings. So you can supply them with whatever you.
So with that, you're in the business.
So that you're already in the business. Or maybe you can just buy the molds for shoes, because they are very lucrative.
Okay.
The shoe business. There's no way we can satisfy the students in Kenya right now.
Yes.
There are a gazillion of them, and they're always coming new children every day. They need new shoes. So you can just buy molds for back to school shoes and start from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
If you do not have the money to get to the 1,500 shillings per pair, you can start with this one, the 600 shillings a pair. The reason people don't opt for it is because you have to nail down the shoe. When you're putting in the pattern, you have to nail down. So with Mbao, it gets these
Max.
And it breaks off. It breaks off, so they're not durable. This one is more durable, so it can get the marks and still hold its position. Yes.
So to get to the kind of skill level that Lewis has,
Yes.
so where do we even begin? If I am at home and I'm looking for something to do with myself, obviously it requires some skill to get to what Lewis does. So Lewis, where do I even begin with that?
There are a couple of some schools you can go for, like KITI in Nakuru, Kenya Institute Training Center in Nakuru. There is Lower Kabete in Nairobi. There is a school in Thika, Kenya National something. Yeah.
So what am I going to study? School?
Leatherwork.
Oh, leatherwork.
Yeah.
Ah,
But if you say leatherwork, in most cases, people will think that you are going to for an industry thing.
Oh, tannery or something.
Yeah, tannery. But there is leatherwork still for making shoes.
For making shoes.
Yeah.
And not just shoes to be...
no, it's not only shoes.
Yeah, it's leather products.
Any leather product.
So we're talking belts,
handbags, jackets,
wallets,
car seats.
Oh yes.
Even sofa seats.
Yes.
There's some sofa seats.
Leather sofa, yes.
Like my first company, Leather, in Nairobi.
Yes.
It's on Southern Bypass when you go to Ruiru. It's the first company in Kenya to make the first leather seats, a sofa set, which goes for 1.5 million shillings.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a opportunity in the leather business.
In the leather industry. Yeah.
Leather value addition.
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of opportunities.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Like for me, I've done this work for 5 years, but the most amazing thing, I did not study for it. No. It took my interest. Yeah, my father does it, but I did IT. But after IT, no job, nothing. I decided to visit my dad in Nairobi. After finding him making shoes, it took my interest. And 6 months, I was done. And from there, earning good money.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can't go out there looking for a job now. No. I can walk out from here, go start my own business.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you cannot go look for another job.
No.
Okay.
Office, no.
Leatherwork, yeah. You're enjoying a lot.
I'm enjoying.
Yeah, you're having fun, and that balance is important.
The cost of making one shoe, and after selling it, have good money.
Yes. It's good to see that you guys are having fun. Yeah, you're doing what you love, and you're loving what you're doing, and the product shows. I think, based on what I've seen in your workshop here today, it is not as difficult to create employment as the government tries to make it seem. Is that true?
True.
Yeah. It's if for instance you're able to access affordable credit so that you can be able to mechanize and bring in skills like Lewis and yourself in the marketing, it's something that we can obviously do. Other countries have done it. There is nothing that should stop us from doing the same. So Lewis mentioned something.
Yeah.
He said he went and got the technical experience from a different shop. Yes, from his dad.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at your workshop and I'm asking myself, if I am at home and I do not have the resources to, because even the institutions that he mentioned, I assume they are costly too. To attend, right? And they probably you need accommodation, you need all that. Now I'm from your area and I need to gain such a skill. Do you take in vocational training?
We do take vocational training, but someone has to be passionate about it.
Yes.
Not just appearing a day and just leaving, because this is something you have to want to do it.
Yes.
You have to put in a lot of work.
Yes.
Once you make the product, you have to know who you're targeting as your market. And like you said, you don't necessarily have to go to school to learn, because you can go to school, learn, and still come out of that school without knowing how to do anything, how to make the shoe or even how to market the product. I also never went to school. I went to a friend of my dad also in Nairobi. And he taught me how to make sandals from just sitting with him day in, day out. And I learned how to do it. So it's more of a passion, more, I would say. If you want it, you can do it.
Interesting.
Yes.
Now, so proud of you guys, what you're doing. And I'm looking forward to, again, meeting your products in the major chains, retail outlets.
I do hope so.
In the near future.
Like Hams and the Gucci company started in a small workshop like this one. So we're hoping we're also going to hit the big market soon.
You get there.
Yes.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah, true.
Interesting.
Yes.
So have a wonderful time.
Yeah.
Kwaheri for now.
Asante.
Sawa, kwaheri ladies.
All right, bye.